Good evening everyone and welcome to League of Europe. This is for the Formula 2 Championship. It is Season 2, Round 9 as we take in the American Grand Prix from the Circuit of the Americas in Austin, Texas. Usually it is, of course, traditionally towards the end of the season in real life Formula 1, but we are here for Formula 2 and hopefully you guys are doing well on this fine Monday evening. I certainly am. I'm James Head, of course, going to be taking you through the stream as always, like I do on a Monday night and indeed on a Saturday night if you do watch if you do watch Division 1 streams as well. Straight in to the standings, and I'll check the comments and everything in just a second, but we'll get straight in to really see what is happening within the standings, and it is quite interesting actually. Towards the top of the standings, 16 points separating first and second. So Toxic leads the way, Carling Man on 159 points, with Campbell in second on 143. So what essentially they've got to do out on track tonight is drive for their lives. Of course, it is reverse grid as normal, so Toxic and Campbell should be the leading lights, I think, in terms of tonight's action. Third in the championship is Verstappen, not too far off. He's only 19 points behind his teammate. He's on 124 points coming into tonight. Dan is in fourth in the Dams on 91 points, with Car Mentalist in fifth, rounding off the top 5 on 80 points. Gary Donegan in sixth after his very unlucky race last time out in the Trident. He's in sixth on 69 points. McCrew is in seventh, not racing here tonight, but he's in seventh on 61 points. And B. Morgan in eighth on 59. Running off the top 10 are Bray's on 41 points, and in 10th is Kvyat Chill on 39 points respectively. Callum is back once again, and he's going to be driving in the BWTR, and he's on 31 points in 11th. V4 Virtual and Ghost, LR Ghost, both in on 30 points, tied for 12th. Kursk, the reserve, very good reserve performance from him in the last 2 races, 27 points he is on. And then we've got Mekhiran, who is not racing here tonight, sadly. He is on 26 points. Looking further down the field, we've got Nico on 24, then we've got your JT on 22. If I'm not mistaken, I am reading these right, I think. Dylan is on 19 points. We've got Rajayan on 15. Then we've got Sebo and Tom, who I think are on 13 points. Kuki Games on 8. Larkin on 7. Damon on 7, Killer Blue on 4, and Elk Maverick on 3 points. And we do have a brand new driver, I think, joining us here tonight. He is a reserve driver, and it's Schmitsky, who is a Division 4 driver. I do believe we should be having him in. And ILRT Matty as well. I think that is a name change for one of our drivers here tonight. It is not. He is also a reserve. I've just had a look on the bottom of the standings. The ILRT Matty, part of the ILRT team. And of course, if you have been very familiar with what has been happening in Division 1, we've had ILRT Louis dominate countless amounts of races in Division 1, and it's great to have another member of those of that esports team coming into League of Europe and supporting us as we move forward, of course. Coming on to the team standings then, Campos, as you would predict, are miles out in front. They're on 101. They're on 267 points, 101 points ahead of Carlin in second. The Carlin team have really got to book up their ideas, I think, in terms of the team standings. Carlin on 166 points, and Dam's in third on 150 points. And old Dam, I think they're going to be struggling here tonight to catch in the constructors, that is. Of course, we've got Dan here, of course. They're on 150 points. Trident in fourth on 110 points, with BWT Arden in fifth on 93. Prima in sixth on 78. Arc Grand Prix in seventh on 50. We've got Univitulsi in eighth on 43. It's quite close towards the end of the standings, actually. MP Motorsport in ninth on 41 points, and we've got the Sauber Junior team by Charu, third time lucky on that one, 37 points, and they are rounding off in 10th position. As we come tonight, of course, to the Circuit of the Americas, the one thing that I've totally forgot to do is get a track map, which is, I think, just what I'm... There is the track just found the track map for Circuit of the Americas. As soon as I heard that, I've got it saved on my iPad. So 20 corners await the drivers here out on track tonight. There is only 2 DRS zones. One uphill towards turn 1, which is of course literally a banked corner running down. It's a 90-degree banked corner through turn 1. And then down towards turns 2 and then through the S section. Of course, this is a Herman Tilke design, first raced around here in 2012. The other DRS zone is down the main long 1 kilometre straight, and that's between the hairpin at turn 11 and also the 90-degree corner at turn 12. A very tight and twisting section, and with these F2 cars, we are going to see probably a few struggle out on track tonight, as you normally do, I think, within the Formula 2 Championship. You always see some of those struggle. We should see though some good overtaking opportunities, like down the main start-finish straight, like down the main back straight as well. Also, possibly, we could see overtaking into turn 15, down into turn 12 as well, through turn 19 possibly. I've seen overtakes done there before, and maybe even through the final corner. I think those are the main points which you really want to try and focus on in terms of the corners out on track for the overtaking here out on track. Hopefully you guys, as I say, are doing well, and especially in these lockdown circumstances that we are facing here around the world, and I'm sure hopefully you guys are keeping fit and healthy, and hopefully I'm going to be giving you just that little bit of a smile on your face, and hopefully we're going to be giving you some great action out on track tonight. So what I'll do then is have a look through the stream and have a look through the comment section to have a look and seeing how everyone is doing tonight. Good evening to Sir Ibo, good evening to Larkin. He asks, how am I doing? I'm doing really well. I've shifted my cough completely. I should be at full range here tonight to give you 100% action around here at the Circuit of the Americas. And to be honest, I was doing a time trial. I'll let you guys in for a bit of a thing before I came live. I was doing a bit of time trial around here, and I think I've done like a 140.6 or something like that, and it is so hard to try and improve on that lap time. It felt like my controller and my steering was going wrong, but hopefully we're going to be seeing some good action out on track. And yeah, to answer your question, I am doing very good. So Ebo, I'll get to that comment in just a second. Don't you worry about that. Nico saying he's expecting good racing. It was a good performance actually by Nico last time out in Spain. Drove well for a majority of the race. And cannot pronounce the YouTube name of that, but I'll try my best. Mixelinson, I don't know. Pronounce it as you will. I need to cook up on my Duolingo skills, I think. Big shout out to my boy Callum, an absolute gamer. Callum has been driving well in the last couple of weeks as well. And Zebo, what is the drink of choice today? Well, it's about a half a glass of Coke I've got currently out on track, and hopefully with me by my side, and it'll keep me refreshed during this stream, and hopefully we're going to be seeing, as I say, some great action out on track. It is just turned 7 o'clock, and unfortunately I'm not reading out any headlines or anything like that, but it is 7 o'clock and we should be beginning to see the drivers ready up out for the track. And with it being a 100% feature race, remember, if this is the first time you are tuning into League of Europe Formula 2 and you haven't experienced a race like this before, then welcome, because this format is quite unique because we are running a custom grid. That custom grid essentially means that it is a reverse grid of the championship standings. If you've missed the start of the stream, go and watch back to catch up on the drivers' standings and indeed the constructors' standings as well. So relatively speaking, those guys who are new, like ILRT Matty, he is going to be starting on pole position because he hasn't had a race, I don't think, this season. While the championship leader Toxic will be starting right at the back of the field. And the trend I think I've picked up on in the last couple of races or so is certainly that even if you are at the back of the grid or near the back of the grid, do not discount your chances. And especially around here at Circuit of the Americas, where I think the back ends are going to be so loose and there's going to be quite a few mistakes out on track, the guys from the back will find it, I think, a bit easier to get past some of the guys ahead, because it is that quite uniqueness. Of course, remember in Japan a couple of races ago we had Carmentalist and I think it was Viva Virtual battling out for the race win there, and it just comes to show that reverse grids do work, and those guys necessarily wouldn't have won a race if it wasn't for that. So I think it is a quite unique circumstances, and I have to give credit, of course, to that man that I've just highlighted there, our lobby host and our glorious Formula 2 coordinator, XCI Dan, who is very much thanked. And I have retweeted, if you want to follow me on Twitter, by the way, at B52Head is my Twitter name. I've retweeted, my latest tweet that I've retweeted out is one of League of Europe, and it is the leagues that we do run here in League of Europe. So if you are tuning in and want to get involved, then of course, just go onto my Twitter, just say James sent you there, and have a look at the tweet, message the account. Job's a good one, and hopefully we'll get more drivers in. And I know we're going to be getting a new season of GT Sport being set up soon as well. And I do believe, I'm under the impression, it's the Porsche Super Cup, so you'll be seeing me drive in that as opposed to commentate, which is why you never see a stream on a Wednesday night nowadays. We are about 10 seconds away then from the lobby to kick in, and then we'll get out onto track for Circuit of the Americas. Of course, do put your predictions down in the comments section. If you are watching here, as I say, for the first time, I will do a bit of explainers about the tyre choices and about these cars out on track as we get into the feature race. There'll be 30 odd laps, I think, out on track here tonight. We'll confirm that for you in just a second. Normally a 25% race around here, normally a 50% race around here is 28 laps. So if you think about it that way, we should be getting just maybe a couple of laps less than a normal 50% race if this was Formula 1 cars. And I think it will be probably between the mid-20s or the low 30s, I think, in terms of lap times around here. And that's in total laps, not the lap times that the drivers will be doing. Beautiful blue skies in America, and I think it really sums up what it's like looking out my window now, what it's like up here in the north of England. It is beautiful sun-setting skies. It's literally going to be like a Bahrain race for me, where we're going to be transferring from day into night during the course of the next hour or so, and we've got about 10 seconds to go until we start up. And as I say, I think we should be in for a real treat out on track here tonight, and I cannot wait to give you the action out on track. So just speaking in terms of the laps that we've got, 31 laps, so yeah, just a couple of laps over than what we were expecting for a normal 50% race on the in normal Formula 1 cars. Looking then at the strategies, and this is one of my key explainers, what I like to do at the start of each stream, and tell you some of the facts about these tyres and what these F2 cars, if you are normally associated with Formula 1 and racing in the Formula 1 cars, you will see that there is 3 compound of tyre choices. There's not here, there are 2 compound of tyre choices, and they're beautifully reflected actually on the graphics there. So what we've got is super softs. A majority of the field run on super soft, bar the exception of Sir Ibo, Dylan, Carmentalist and Dan, which is quite interesting. I'll come on to that in just a second. Those guys are on a set of mediums, so what that set of mediums will be doing is probably trying to get over the halfway stage and then pit in for a set of super soft compound of tyres. Now the super soft compound of tyres are quicker with the race to begin off with. You should see, I would think, the first pit stops begin to happen around lap 9 or lap 10 around here, I think, in terms of that. And the super softs will degrade after about 5 or 6 laps around here. With it being scorching blue skies and the track temperature going to be probably at its peak, it is going to be really hard to try and manage those tyres, and every driver I really feel for out on track. It's why I'm in the commentary box, and I don't want to be out on track, to be honest, around here. Looking then at what I was saying about Commentalist and Dan, it is quite interesting that they are down the bottom half of the field and they're on a set of medium compound of tyres, but I think that is the best strategy to go on. I think mediums to super softs will work around here as long as those mediums can get past the halfway stage. So it'll probably be around maybe lap 14, lap 15 where you should see the first pit stops begin to happen. But if Carmentalist and Dan stand a chance at winning this, they will try and do the undercut. And remember, we have got the safety car and the VSC on as well. So with that being said, we're coming into the final corner now on the formation lap. I'll be right on board with ILRT Matty Killer Blue and Larkin just down in behind him out on track. Let me check through then your comments section. McCrew saying he's also got GT Sport, which is good to see. As I say, I think it is the Porsche Super Cup that we are going to be running next season for GT Sport. And of course FIFA Retro, who is not racing here tonight. He is the GT Sport coordinator, so if you want to message him, you can do. But we are just moments away as the final cars join onto the grid. We are just moments away. You can see the uphill run towards turn 1 from ILRT Matty's point of view. And the 5 red lights are about to come on here in Austin, Texas for round 9 of the Formula 2 Championship in League of Europe. And it's lights out and away we go. Very good stop by Killer Blue, as absolutely mincemeated ILRT Matty off the start. Good start there by his teammate as well. Iro Dillon trying to go around the outside for P2. Larkin trying to get in the act as well. So everyone on the inside could cause a little bit of a Constantino effect in behind. Relatively all clean though through the mid-pack. And everyone I think is clean through turn 1 as we see P. Morgan trying to go up the inside of Bray. It's 3 wide coming towards the S section. Never be 2 wide or 3 wide through here, as that is Verstappen round. Verstappen is round. I'm not sure if he contacted Toxic possibly, but Verstappen is round. He's lost it on the curb, it seems. So Verstappen has got back underway, but Killer Blue now leads the way, and it's a second gap already as Ebo is dropping through the field like an absolute stone out on track. But Killer Blue leads the way, and he runs down towards turn 11 for the first time with about an 8/10 lead in that MP Motorsport. ILRT Matty's in second. There's been all sorts of carnage there just in the background of shot, and I think it is Bray and B. Morgan that have been caught up in an incident. Just having a look at the mini-map there, yeah, B. Morgan and Bray have been caught up in an incident. I think Dan might have lost the position to Sir Ibo in all of that as well. Commenstus hasn't really moved from his position early on, as we see your ILR Ghost going down the inside of KVR Chill, trying to get the move done. It is Prima against Arc1 Pre here. And the Arc1 Pre car on the inside line trying to get the move done. I do apologise, Dylan and Matty are in the Sauber Juniors, so that's why I went wrong with all of that. So I do apologise about that. Gary Donegan is round through the middle sector. I think he's lost it on the curb through turn 13 there. So the Trident's not really having the best start to this race at all, as Toxic and Campbell have a bit of a hammer and tongue here moment. Toxic around the outside on Campbell through turn 18. Of course, these two are championship rivals. They're first and second in the championship, and this is already getting quite heated between them both, as Toxic has got the move done down the inside. Campbell's just got to be fair, I think, to him, and Toxic is through. He's up the inside. He's up into 11th position, as we see further up the field. We're on the end of lap 1. Nico trying to go up the inside here with the Carlin of Larkin. Larkin on the outside line, Nico on the inside line. They remain as they are, and LR Ghost could have a very good run out down the hill through turn 1. So at the end of lap 1, Killer Blue leads, ILRT Matty second. Dylan is up to third on a set of medium compound tyres. Larkin in fourth, Nico fifth, Ghost sixth, QVR Chill in seventh. We right on board with LR Ghost as he tries to nick it up the inside through turn 6, trying to get the move done. Can he go around the outside? This will be a very peculiar overtaking opportunity if he can try and pull this off. Nico is not giving this one up without a fight though, but what a move that is by LR Ghost. Gets the move done, and Nico just about defends off his champion, teammate in behind, as Callum is on the back of your JT running down the inside as well. The Brett, nearly contacting the back of QVR Chill, but he gets the move done. Very good, clean racing so far from what we've seen. Obviously in the mid-pack it got a little bit heated and a little bit of battles happening, as Larkin now is on the back of Dylan. There is Dylan on the right hand side, Larkin on the inside line as we come now down in towards turn 12 once again for the second time around, and Larkin does it up the inside, but he's gone a little bit too deep. This will favour Dylan trying to go around the outside line. But Larkin gets the move done actually, so Dylan doesn't want to fight him in this position. Of course, Super Softs will be quicker than mediums at this stage in the race. Larkin has got the move done, and he's up into third position. Of course, he's well down in the field as well, so Larkin, Division 1 driver, will be hoping to try and outpace some of the guys. Killer Blue doing a good job though, out in front currently, and the gap has extended out by about 4/10 of a second this lap around, and he's in the lead by 1.1 seconds from ILRT Matty in second. The pressure is really off, I think, for these guys currently out on track, but the majority of the championship rivals, Toxic just going up into 9th, passing your JT, and your JT actually and Campbell having a fight, I think, out the final corner. Just seen this on the mini-map. In fact, I think thought we had somebody going into the pit side. We don't. I think it was Verstappen maybe getting a little bit squirmy out of turn 1. LR goes down the inside of Dylan. We just come on board about a little bit late, but the Prima is through, and LR Ghost making good ground through the field, and he's up into 4th position. Dylan in 5th. There's a lot of battles happening further down the field. Campbell is surely not going to go around the outside through turns 3, 4, 5 and 6. goodness me, if he tried to pull that one off, I would have given him a 5 straight off the bat, but he doesn't. And Verstappen is fighting Damon. Damon just running a little bit wide there in the utility car. But relatively good racing. I think Circuit of the Americas always likes to produce a very good race out on track. It is Scotsman against Scotsman out on track though, as we come through turn 10, and QVR Campbell down the inside on your JT. Maybe a bit of a Scottish pact there, maybe between them both. But Campbell's got the move done, and Verstappen's through as well, so the two Campos cars may be fighting. And in fact, your JT and Verstappen side by side down the straight. We see Toxic just passing Callum in the foreground of shot. We've got battle further up the field as well. A little bit of lag there between your JT and QVR Verstappen. Verstappen down the inside line. Can he get the move done? Chiller's gone through on Dylan as well. And Verstappen has got the move done. Run around the outside, but down the inside goes your JT. Scotsman still fighting this move. Dutchman on the inside line now, through, in towards turn 15, and I think Verstappen has got this one done, and I think your JT just had to relinquish that position. It's getting quite spicy though ahead, as Toxic tries to go up the inside of Nico. Little bit of lag there, and Nico and QVR Chill, in fact, that is, battling out, so I do apologise, getting my Arc1 Prees mixed up there. QVR Chill and Toxic round the outside on Nico, trying to get the move done. It is getting quite heated, I think, for 5th, 6th, 7th and 8th, as Ghost begins to close in on Larkin, and he delivered a good performance in Brazil actually, LR Ghost, and he's down the inside here on Larkin for P3, and he's got the move done. Can Larkin try and get the switch back? Never from that far back, and Ghost is through, and he's up to 3rd. Good move, and the Bullard is taken out there by Toxic on the inside line. Nico's on the inside line now through turn 2, but rightfully backs off, so Toxic actually has gone through on Nico, and he's up into 7th position out on track. QVR Chill trying to find a way past IRO Dylan. It is Saber Jr. against Arc1 Free out on track. Only on lap 4, there's been pretty much a lot of action out on track. Just to speak about Gary Donegan, by the way, he had a moment, I think, on the first lap coming out the final couple of corners, and that was through turn 11 where he spun it. He has been into the pits. He's on a set of medium compound tyres, so inevitably Gary will have to pit in again for a set of super softs as he gets towards the end of the race. QVR Chill though, trying to line up a move on Dylan. Look at the snaking train running down the straight. Toxic trying to follow in as well. We're all on board actually with our current championship leader, and he tries to pick up the double toe. QVR Chill on the outside of Dylan, but Dylan now will have to pick which side he wants to be on. Toxic not going down the outside line there, and Nico, oh, I think he's been contacted maybe by Verstappen or Campbell, one of the two, and Nico has been caught up in that. Commenceless and B Morgan go on through. Nico trying to fight this around the outside line. It's 3 wide, I think, actually through there. Commenceless has got the move done. So Commenceless gets the move done, and Killer Blue has left the session from the lead of the race. B Morgan down the inside of Commenceless gets the move done. A very exciting race this is beginning to prove out to be. Toxic, by the way, did get through on QVR Chill and indeed on IRL Dylan, so we missed that. It must have been through towards turn 15 where we got that move done. Killer Blue, I'm pleased to report, is back into the session. Back 5 out of 31, and Killer Blue leads the way from RRT Matty. You can see that ghosted car is still going around out on track, so he will be able to take control of the car. As in the meantime, Verstappen tries to get the move done on Callum, switching it back down the inside, and this will be perfection move if he can pull it off, and he has. Callum just losing the snap of opposite lock there through on the corner exit, and Callum has lost the position to Verstappen, and he's got into 8th position now. Verstappen comments, this is through on Damon, and Campbell is through on Nico, so Campbell getting ahead of Nico. Killer Blue dropping down the field. Don't think he'll lose many positions. I think he'll probably stay out in about P4 possibly if he doesn't rejoin or doesn't take control of his car soon, as Campbell has ran the outside and rival Damon. Good move. I think he was always going to pull that one off. Damon, I think, just lost it on the throttle as opposed to a little bit of contact there. It was a difficult camera angle to see, but he's got the move done. Has Campbell. He's up to 13th position, but what I said about the guys out on track, there is Killer Blue's car, by the way. He will take control as LR Ghosts and RRT Matty now take for the lead of the race, and Ghosts and RRT Matty livid racing against RRT here. If you want to see this battle in the TTG Mini League, with tune in on Wednesday night, as Keane McGinley and Aidan Carter will be taking you through that one on the TTTV channel. But LR Ghost and RRT Matty, two of the stoutest esports teams out there. Livid Racing, Ghost, trying to go around the outside through turn 18. He gets the move done. What a move that is by the Prima car. He's making these moves look quite easy out on track. And LR Ghost is through and he's up into the lead of the race. But two of the finest esports teams out there, Livid Racing and LRT, are fighting it out here in League of Europe Formula 2. Not really a setting that you come to associate with these two teams, to be honest. But they're doing a good job out on track, these drivers. Ghost leads for Matty in second, as Matty will try and fight back. But looking at the pace there, Ghost and Matty, both of these guys, I think Ghost has got the edge now over RRT Matty. Killer Blue has rejoined the session, which I'm pleased to report, I think, as Toxic has gone through on him. That car doesn't look ghosted on my screen. And Killer Blue will run on board with QVR Chill, and I think he's just taking control of his car there. So Chill right on the back of Killer Blue, and he's just got to be aware here as QVR now try to fight their way through. We've got a whole host of esports teams as well towards the front end of the field. QVR involved, QVR Chill. Not necessarily going to try and get the move done here on Killer Blue, who did rejoin the session. Oh, and he's left again. So Killer Blue leaves again. That's why you saw the red X next to his name. But once again, we're going to get the LRT and LR battle out in front. Ghost and Matty. Matty to the outside line then through turn 12. He has got the traction around the outside, but Ghost, I think, might have just cut the corner there. But he says in the lead of the race. Larkin in third. The two calling cars actually doing quite well out on track. Larkin in third. Toxic is up to fourth. There are the position changes, by the way, from what has been a tremendous race so far. Everyone else has now spread out like a washing line. Commensalist has gone through on your JT for 13th and 14th position. But out on track, top three separated by a second. Talar Ghost, ILRT Matty and Larkin as they come now through turn 19. Remember, 20 corners here out on track, and just to speak about the strategies as well, you should see as Verstappen is down the inside there of Killer Blue, of course, for getting past his AI there. LRT Matty though, chasing down Ghost. We're about a quarter of the way through the race nearly here in League of Europe Formula 2. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the stream so far. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and tick that notification bell to remind yourself when we're next going to be live on the channel. And we will be next live, I think, for Friday night, because the 5-lapper championship will be happening. I do believe it is classic cars this week. I will sadly not be commentating on that one, so if you are expecting and wanting to get me into the 5-lapper championship, then your dreams have not come true, I'm afraid, because I'm not going to be commentating on the 5-lapper championship. I've got another commentary elsewhere on that evening. Larkin though, on the back of ILRT Matty, going to wait till the straight to try and get the move done. And looking further down the field, Killer Blue, I think, has now rejoined. I don't think that gap is now beginning to come down. It is coming down now, so Killer Blue has retaken control of his car, and by God I hope he's going to remain here as well, as Larkin just flies past ILRT Matty down the straight. ILRT Matty, I think, a relatively new signing to that esports team, if I'm not mistaken. But Larkin makes it look quite easy down the inside. He gets the move done. B. Morgan then, Division 2 driver against Callum, who I think is a Division 3 or 4 driver. Down the inside goes B. Morgan, and the Dams pulls off the move. And oh damn, they nearly made contact there, but B. Morgan gets the move done. He's up into 9th position out on track. And just to confirm, there is Killer Blue's car out on track, and he is chasing down QVR Verstappen, as Campbell has dabbed it down the inside of Callum, who I think might have made a little bit of a mistake there, and his car looks a little bit unstable actually out on track. But that means Campbell is now up to P10. So Callum, I think, just making a mistake through turn 15. ILRT Matty is into the pits. Not relatively, little bit early to my liking, but I think he's probably going to go and try and go for the undercut here. As you can see, 6 members of the pit crew only there to really put on the tyres. Callum, by the way, also pitted in at the same time. So ILRT Matty goes into the pits. 23 laps on a set of mediums. Might be possible. I'm not really sure. I haven't really tested the stuff out yet. But Dan is down the inside line trying to get the move done. Or he has a bit of a half spin through turn 1. The Dam's on the inside line, but always going to favour the MP around the outside. So your JT is through, and he's up, possibly into P12. But Dan is really fighting the attentions here. Dam's against MP. Dam's, of course, third in the constructors' standings coming into tonight. I think they're on 150 points, if I'm not mistaken, coming into tonight. Dan though, trying to make best of the situation. Toxic trying to close in on Larkin as well. We'll cut to that now as they run down the straight. Toxic about halfway down the straight here. Going down towards turn 12, pulls out of the slipstream, but not going to go for the move there. And Larkin and Toxic, remember, if you have been tuning into Division 1, then these two have had a little bit of a coming together as of late. It was the Ferrari and the whatever Toxic's car is in that. In Division 1. They made a bit of contact in Belgium, and I'm sure the stewards will have a look at that one if I've reminded them there on the stream. But what essentially happened between these two out on track on Saturday, and you can go and watch the stream back if you wish, is that Toxic was pretty much forced into the wall through X corner. Now, when I say X corner, it's the corner before one, so he was forced out wide by Larkin. Larkin, in the meantime, then dived down the inside through Puon. Both of them made contact late on in the race. Then it caused a bit of a hoo-ha in behind. Little Blocks being out the race then. And unfortunately, I'm sad to say that Little has left the league as a result of that incident. And I think the driving standards definitely need to be looked at for Division 1 on Saturday. In the meantime, back to the present day, and Verstappen is right on the back of Chill. And Chill just picking up a 3-second time penalty there, running over the curb slightly, but Verstappen now in his hunt to try and catch Toxic. In terms of the championship standings as well, this is going to blow itself wide open because Toxic should, at this stage, if the race was stopped now, Toxic will be leading the championship by, I think, over a race. And when I say over a race, points total over a race. So essentially more than 25 points ahead. Verstappen, though, on the back of Chill. And hopefully he'll be possibly trying to take second off his championship, of his nearest championship rival, which is PVR Campbell. And the two Campbells, of course, dominating the constructors. Verstappen not going to go down the inside line here, however. A little bit of lag actually coming from the Dutchman. If he is watching, then turn off the devices and whatnot. But Verstappen is currently in 5th position. Zabel, by the way, did come into the... hasn't been into the pit yet, has made a mistake, and Gary has gone past him. And your JT and Damon and RRT, Matty and Callum have all been into the pit, so they have rejoined relatively in close quarters to each other. Matty, Callum, your JT, Gary's just gone through on Sir Ibo, and it's actually IRO Damon who is round on a cold set of tyres. LR saying I mucked off ILRT there. To be honest, it is really good to see, I think, a number of different esports teams coming into leagues like this and really having a moment. And speaking of having a moment, Bean Morgan having a moment out of the final corner. I think he just lost it on the throttle. So he has just been overtaken there by IRO Dylan. So Sauber Junior car now ahead of the Dan's car out on track. Verstappen, right on the back of Chill. Yeah, the point that I was making is it's really good to see, I think, a number of esports teams becoming a part of the league. I think we've got more signings as well within the last couple of weeks within the normal Formula 1 leagues. But Formula 2 is becoming ever popular, I think. And I think since we've started streaming this and since I've taken the commentary end as well, it has got people interested in something that you wouldn't really expect people to be racing in, which I think is fantastic. And it just comes to show that these guys are committed to trying something new. And speaking of the two QVR boys out on track, Verstappen and Chill, with 5.5 tenths separating as they come down the straight, we've got TTG Toxic obviously in second and our girls leading the way. Verstappen right on the back of Chill though. These two, who are technically teammates if this was a mini league, but it's not. QVR, of course, taking part in Division 1. And now through turn 13. Not going to be close enough for there, Verstappen. So he's just going to have to try and sit and wait. Bit of a battle happening further down the field though. It's ILRT Matty against Larkin. And Larkin actually has jumped ILRT Matty within the pits. So the undercut I should say, for Larkin nearly worked as ILRT Matty looks to the outside line. Not quite going to be close enough though for the move, and I think Larkin will hold the position through into turn 15. However, dive bomb down the inside from ILRT Matty. Got the car pretty much halfway in there. but not going to get the move, and Killer Blue was retired out of the race, and that is through the final corner and into the pit lane, that is. And I think the safety car has been deployed. It has. The safety car has been deployed. We're on board then with Dan as he comes through. You should see the car on the left-hand side of your screen. It is. It's in the wall on the left-hand side of your screen. This will be a better indicator if we can get somebody coming into the pits. As your JT picks up a drive-through penalty for speeding in the pit lane. The car, though, was on the left-hand side into the pit wall, so I'm afraid to report Killer Blue out of the race. A disconnect, and now a DNF really adds to his walls out on track tonight. And unfortunate for him. Kiva Chillo, by the way, has got ahead of Larkin with the safety car period now out. There's the fastest lap, by the way. Toxic 51.1, Ghosts to 51.2. And I think Ghost has really been putting in the practice, to be honest, around here. He's been fantastic so far out on track. And he currently holds the lead of the race by currently 2 seconds out on track. But remember, these guys have got to stick to a delta. So the safety car now is out on track. If you have got any questions or any comments that you do want to throw my way, now is the time to do so. While we've got a little bit of break in the action, I shall check through the recent comments and the recent developments on Discord as well, as I'll load up the stream. Having a look through, McCrew having a conversation with Mark, who was into the comment section as well, and not many comments coming through there. But if you have got any questions, or if you have got any support for the drivers out on track, now's the time to do that, because we're under the safety car period. We're about a third of the way through the race here. So I will just go quiet for a minute there as I just text somebody on Twitter. But out on track, LR Ghost leads, and Toxic is going to come into the pits as well. So we've got both the leaders in. Remember, these guys have got to stick to a delta in behind, so these guys are likely to come out ahead, well ahead of Chill and Larkin, who are just coming through. Looking at them actually, where are they out on track? Give your Chill and Larkin just coming through 16, 17 and 18, which is the triple right-hander now. These guys out on track are into the pit. They're into the pit lane, as I burp on the stream, which is super unprofessional there. These guys are going to be miles ahead. The safety car really going to help these guys, and has helped the championship leader, and has also helped the current leader of the race as well. Now, our Ghost, interestingly, he's gone onto a set of super soft compound of tyres. Now, I'll just check again. I think he's gone on the wrong strategy there, to be honest. I'm not sure if he was meant to go on another set of super softs, but LR Ghosts has gone onto a set of super softs there, and I can't really describe why he's done that for. Honestly, can't really describe what he's done that for, and I think that's the wrong strategy, because obviously the super softs are not going to last 19 laps. It'll be barnacles out on track if he actually tries to get that to the line. Those tyres will be absolutely messed by the end of this race. They'll be blistering like mad before the end of the race, and I'm sure there would be a puncture if he was to go on that strategy. Maybe he's realised, and maybe because I'm saying it on the stream as well, somebody can contact him and just say, well, the commentator thinks you're wrong on the strategy. But it might be a good scenario, I don't know. To be honest, you've got to gain around 30 seconds of buffer time around here, and to be honest, I don't think he will gain 30 seconds. I don't think he'll even gain 10 seconds, to be honest, out on track. But a very weird strategy is what I'm saying there for LR Ghosts. And from potentially winning this race, I could necessarily see him being at the top 10 now, to be honest. And that is just my truthful opinion, I think, on that strategy call. If he does decide to come into the pit, then obviously it'll change up things. And I'll have a look at the comments section and see how you guys are doing. Larkin saying rain is coming. You must don't. Please. I've had enough of wet races in bloody Division 1. I don't want one in bloody Division in Formula 2 as well. Please. I've had enough. I've had enough of wet races. Anyways, lap 13 about to begin. He might be right actually, because it is starting to cloud over, a little bit cloudy down towards turn 1. But Dylan leads the way. We're still under the safety car period out on track tonight as we approach the halfway stage. RRT Matty, interestingly, going on to a set of medium compound, is back into the pits. He was on a set of medium compound of tyres. Is he going to pit in for a fresh set of mediums? I think that is a fresh set of mediums out for him, and in fact he's got front wing damage. So RRT Matty into the pits. Not sure what happened there under the safety car, but remember, the tyres can only be changed at the same time. You can see the mechanic sitting there on the left-hand side of the tyre. The tyre on the left-hand side, I should say. RRT Matty will come out in 15th position, and I think that throws him out of the window in terms of the race win, or a possible top 10 finish as well. Dylan and comments, that's interestingly though, will start off the safety car period out in front. So essentially what I think these guys are going to do, now they're good friends of Toxic, these two, Dylan and Car Mentalist. They're very good friends in real life, and Dylan and Car Mentalist I think have been acquired. I was going to say acquired as hitmen, but I don't think they're going to be acquired as hitmen. I think they're going to be acquired as wingmen out on track. That was the right word to really find out there. Not hitmen, goodness me. We'll be talking about GTA in no time if we went on to that. But Toxic obviously on a fresh set of mediums. Against LR Ghost on a fresh set of super softs. Toxic has got to get past Dan. He will inevitably quite easily, I think. Commentalist and Dylan then have got to try and hold up Ghost to be backed into Toxic, and Toxic to get past Ghosts. That essentially is the name of the game, and I think that is their game plan out on track. We should see the safety car period come to an end very shortly. It should be coming, I think, after here. I know the safety car is not coming in this lap, so the safety car doesn't appear to me as if it is going to be coming in this lap, and we have still got a couple of cars actually joining on to the back. So RRT Matty hasn't joined on. Now there's Damon. Damon's just on the back of the group now. So RRT Matty, Sable, Gary and your JT have all got another lap to close in on the safety car. And everyone coming around the final corner once again. So Dylan will lead the way from Commensalist in second. A little bit of a position change there as Campbell is into the pits. So Campbell and as well the position changes have been made. They are into the pits. And look at how LR Ghost is actually weaving the tyres. We'll speak about this now. They're obviously weaving the tyres to try and get temperature and heat into the tyres. But if it is going to be raining, I think Dylan and Commensalist also, if it is going to rain out on track, then essentially Ghost might have pulled off a good strategy call here. And if it is going to be raining, I think they have pulled off a good strategy call out on track. Dylan and commenters will be hoping and waiting for the rain to come later on in the race so they can get those mediums towards that period of the changeover. And remember, we have only got wet tyres for the Formula 2 cars. No inters, just the wets. That is the blue wall tyre which you're normally familiar with in Formula 1. There are no green wall tyres, no intermediate conditions. So these guys have got to do a wet stint, possibly towards the end of the race. I think they'll probably, if the clouds don't start to come over now, which they are beginning to come over slightly out on track, but if it is due to rain, then we will see it probably towards the end of the race, I think. Probably around lap 25, 26 is where I'm thinking in terms of the wet race, if it is going to happen. But safety cars should be coming into the pits this lap. We've got Campbell and your JT just still joining on to the back. They are just still joining on to the back now of the queue down the straight. And yeah, the safety car will be in this lap. So Dylan's job now is to back up the pack in a very safe manner. Now I've seen that the safety car restarts recently, especially in Division 1, and there was front wing damage, and Damon picking up a 3-second time penalty is not what you want to see at all under the safety car either. So the safety car now coming round, and what Dylan has got to do is he's got to adjust the pace to his liking. There is the safety car just coming round. It is actually ghosted out on track, which I don't think you normally see in terms of the safety car. But Dylan has got to try and control the pace, and got to wait, remember, as Damon has had another penalty, 5-second collision with Bray, and Damon has actually dropped down past Matty, Sabo and the likes. Going very slow through turn 19, but that's to ensure the safety car is now across the line. So Dylan now can floor it through to the final corner, and now Dylan goes. So Dylan Backing up the pack very well indeed, I think. He comes across the line now to take the lead of the race once again. We're back underway here in the Formula 2 Championship, and it's Dylan who leads the way. There are yellow flags through the final corner. Everything now getting back underway. I think it was Damon possibly losing positions with Sabo. Goes down the inside of Commensus, trying to get the move done. Can he? The Prima ran around the outside. Look at the freshness of these soft, set of soft compounded tyres, the set of supers I should say, out on track. Dylan just lagging slightly, but through the S section once again. And it's relatively clean, so goes down the inside, there he goes, down the inside of Dylan, through turn 6, can he get the move done, right around the outside, yes he can, what a move by Ghost, he's really cooking up gas on this track tonight. LR Ghost through into the lead of the race, but remember those super softs will begin to wear off sooner rather than later. I don't think he'll even get a 10-second gap out on track. Now that he's free though, he can put the hammer down. Bray has dropped through the field and he's spun. Bray has spun through turn 9 on the exit of turn 9, probably got caught on the curb I would imagine there. Campbell up the inside of Damon, just in the background shot, getting that move done as they run down the straight. The championship leader on the back of his good friend Carmenslus. Carmenslus to the outside line, BWT on against Carlin, and the Carlin just sails past him down the inside. That is what fresh tyres does for you. And Chill down the inside line, possibly on Dan. Maybe he needs to take a chill pill by trying to go right around the outside through turn 13. Can he get the move done? Bit of a slide there, but the QBR man is through, and Larkin trying to get through as well. Trying to get moves done. He does. Larkin down the inside. Pulls off the favourite Dan on 14 lap all mediums, trying to battle it back. Larkin trying to float around the outside of him through turn 18. Can he get the move done? They're still kind of side by side through the final corner. They go miles wide, pretty much off the Mexican border through there. Verstappen now down the inside on Dan. The two Dutchmen do battle, and Verstappen, I think, is down the inside of Dan through the final corner, and he is. So Verstappen through, Dan dropping like a fly through the field. Your JT is into the pits, but Ghost has lengthened away by 1.9 seconds out on track, down towards turn 1 once again. We're just through the halfway stage here in the Formula 2 Championship. And for round 9, it has been a good round so far. LR Ghost leads from Toxic 2nd, Dylan 3rd, Commensalus 4th, Chill in 5th, Larkin 6th, Verstappen 7th, Dan in 8th, Callum in 9th, B. Morgan now in 10th, Nico in 11th, and I think has gone past LRT Matty, as has Campbell there. So LRT Matty, I think, has dropped 2 positions, I think, there, if I'm not mistaken. Gary is 14th, Damon 15th, so Ebo in 16th. JT in 17th, and Bray into the pits. He is struggling, Bray out on track. Larkin though, much superior on there through turn 10. Trying to get the move done down the inside, and he does. He was in the car ahead and he gets the move done. The DRS will be enabled next lap. B. Morgan switches it down the inside on the BWT Arden, man. We came onto that pretty late on in the day, but it could be side by side and we could get 2x2 Noah's Ark as Nico and Campbell fight. We ride on board with this view onto the back of B. Morgan and Callum. Through for 9th and 10th, trying to get the move done down the inside. Oh, the BWT Arden just a little bit opposite lock there. Campbell's trying to sandwich himself through the middle of them. Can he get it? It's like the parting of the Red Sea. What a move by QBR Campbell. Can he pull off the move? The Scotsman defends hard. What a move that is. That is Formula 2 racing right there. Louis Delatraz-esque by Campbell gets the move done, and what a move, sandwiching like the Red Sea, the parting of the Red Sea, and he's through. And the current championship second makes it look pretty easy. Yes, he was on a fresh set of supers, but my God, Callum and B. Morgan should have defended that better. Dan right on the back of QBR Chill. Larkin right on the back of Commensalus. We were on board though with the battle for 4th. Larkin down the inside line. Commensalus switches it back down the inside. Perfect on the traction there, Commensalus. Trying to get the move done, but the fresher tyre is always going to be there for Larkin, and the inside line prevails. Larkin through. He's up to P4. Commensalus not going to give this one up without a fight. Of course, rain possibly inbound towards the end of the race, which will mean we should see as Irod Damon has left the session. See, what is the point of leaving the session? I know in the pit, and it is quite frustrating out on track, but is it better to retire in the pits? I'm not sure. I have a problem with people leaving the session, but you can see the cloud cover beginning to increase. Rain is not too far away out on track. Verstappen down the inside on Carmentalist, trying to get the move done, the Dutchman. He's got to wait for the DRS though. Verstappen, who's going to have the DRS? I think it is both of them actually out on track that has got them. And look at KVR chilling behind, three-way for 5th position out on track. Verstappen commenceless and chill as Campbell is down the inside as well on Dan, getting the move done quite easily there. Commenceless down the inside, switches onto the inside. Verstappen getting the move done, chill, and Larkin and Dylan are fighting for 3rd position as well. Dylan stoutly fighting this. Larkin down the inside though gets the move done and he's up to 3rd. This is unbelievable racing. Maybe one of the races of the season this. Verstappen has gone through on chill as well. And I'll tell you what, some of the overtakes that we're seeing is Formula 2-esque right here. Oh my god, if you want to sign up to the league, do it now while we've got some good racing. Ghost still leads the way, 3.3 seconds, and the advantage now for these two guys ahead. The rain coming, these guys will be into the pits first, so they'll have priority over the rest of the field. Verstappen trying to catch on the back of Dylan. Campbell trying to catch on to the back of Commensals. Verstappen from a mile back on Dylan, trying to get the move done. That's just in the foreground of shot there. KVR Trill trying to get past through on the Ocon Free. Oh, the Sabat Jr. just locks it on the inside curb. And Chill down the inside, opportunistic down the inside, gets the move done. And I think Dylan struggling out on track and he's holding up a right train. Has he possibly got front wing damage, or has he possibly got those tyres beginning to degrade out on track? Remember, oh, and Campbell is down the inside of Car Mentalist. Oh, what a move again! Campbell on fresher tyres, passing Car Mentalist, gets the move done. Both Dylan and Car Mentalist, remember, were 1st and 2nd under the safety car restart. In the space of about 3 or 4 laps, they're now down into 6th and 8th respectively. That is what fresh tyres does around this track. We transition to dry to day and night like Bahrain in real life. We're transitioning from dries to wets possibly out on track tonight. Of comments, Campbell is right on the back of Dylan, around the outside line. Dylan will fight this hard down the inside, maybe too hard. He's gone in a little bit too deep there. Traction around the outside, going to prevail I think for Campbell. The Dutchman against his fellow, the Scotsman against the Dutchman. Trying to get the move done. Dylan has fought him off though, or has he? Campbell's down the inside line now, through turn 15. That is how you pull off a move through turn 15. Campbell had the car ahead. Dylan ran into the back of him. Nothing more, nothing less. Clean move. Campbell gets the move done. He's up to 6th, and he's making drying strides through the field. Looking further down the field though, the two dams, and it's beginning to rain out on track. The rain has came even earlier than I predicted it. I'd have predicted 25, 26 on lap 19. We're just about to go on to lap 19 with these two guys as we see ILRT Matty and LOE Nico battle it out down the straight. And the super soft compound tyres will wear quicker than the mediums. So everyone on the set of mediums is ILRT Matty's going to lunge it down the inside. This is too late on the brakes and he makes contact, and that was inevitable. ILRT Matty making contact. B Morgan, the one that has been just catapulted into, I think that's the best way to describe that. And unfortunately, contact had to be made. I think ILRT Matty knew he was not going to pull off that move. I'm sure there'll be an apology coming as Gary is down the inside trying to get the move done on ILRT Matty. Not going to quite get the move done there though. Still, green flag racing as Dylan and Car Mentalist battle out on track. These two, of course, from 1st and 2nd on the safety car restart. And look who's behind them as well. On fresher tyres, Callum beginning maybe to eye up a double toe down the straight. Car Mentalist, Dylan and Callum. This is for P7, 8 and 9 currently out on track. Bray, by the way, has gone back into the pits. Has he gone into a set of wets, I wonder? Callum, the inside line on Dylan. You can see the spray already beginning to kick up. So the spray kicking up and Bray is into the pits and Damon is in as well. We should see the pit stops made. The Irishman down the inside there. Gary on ILRT Matty, but it's very difficult out on track as Damon has in fact retired at this time out of the pits. And Callum picked up a 3-second time penalty. There's action pretty much every corner you look at this stage. Goodness me. LR Ghost still continues on. DRS disabled, I think, will probably come at the end, maybe halfway through this lap. I think that might be the wrong call, to be honest. Bray, though, is on a set of wets, so let's really see, as Bray's through turn 1, let's see if he catches your JT out on track. Campbell is into the pit, speeds it into the pit lane as well. That is not going to help his cause at all. Bray has got a 3-second time penalty, and a wet compounded tyres, of course, is out there for Campbell. The Campos man into the pits out on track. We're right on board though with Verstappen, who's trying to get onto the back of Larkin, the Carlin and the Campos team. Two closest in the Constructors' battle so far. Currently, Carlin will be outscoring Campos here tonight. And I think that is quite something to say, really, as Callum has gone through and Ira Dillon further down the field. As I say, hopefully you guys are enjoying this. This is probably one of the most enjoyable races I think I've commentated on in the Formula 2 Championship so far this season. And so Ibo coming in and saying it was 5 minutes to rain, well, I think, to be honest, that prediction and that fact there was pretty much spot on and perfect. Out on track, Ira Dillon is round through turn 9. Let's see, out on track. So gets the car going again. There's no puncture, so I think he's just lost it in the wet conditions there. Verstappen on the back of Larkin. I don't think anybody will try and pull off a move. Even in these conditions, you wouldn't be silly enough to try and pull off a move out on track. But LR goes, and in fact Verstappen and Larkin, speaking of not trying to pull off a move, turbo ahead for 10 seconds, and Larkin and Verstappen are battling. Verstappen to the outside line, the traction always going to be on the outside line. It's going to be Max Verstappen-esque in these wet conditions, possibly from Verstappen. Larkin on the inside line through the triple right-hander. Still side by side through turn 19, goes into the pits, and Larkin holds on to the position. So Larkin stays in P3, and everyone being told now to come into the pits. Dillon has retired out on track. He's lost that car through turn 14, I think that is. Yeah, through turns 14 and 15, he has lost that car out on track. So he is sadly out of the race. Everyone into the pits. Callum, I feel sorry for him. His teammate was right in front of him, and he's going to have to go around another lap on a set of medium compounded tyres, while everyone else will be on a set of wet compounded tyres. As LR goes, has came out of the pits. I feel sorry for Callum, but that is how things go here out on track. And I'm afraid to say, he has just been dumbfounded, I think, or dumbfounded, I should say, out on track by whatever has happened. Oh, and there's a VSC out on track. I didn't even realise. VSC has been deployed out on track. So on lap 21 out of 31. If you thought we were going to get this race through in an hour, then you can think again, really. So, Callum leads the way. Goes in second. Verstappen is up to 4th, passing QVR Chill. I think they might have had I think Chill might have jumped him on the VSC restart there, so that's why we saw the position change back to Verstappen's favour there. Just going to take a drink. I think I need it. This is the first drink I'm actually taking throughout this commentary. So Dylan, Damon, Killer Blue all out of the race. Chill though is right on the back of Verstappen. I think with these cloudy conditions and with the DRS now disabled out on track, these conditions will hopefully not freeze over out on track. I have to get that in. I'm so bad at my puns. You might have laughed, then yeah. Or you're probably just shaking your head now and thinking, what on earth is he doing? Chill on the back of Verstappen. QVR boys, 4th and 5th. Oh, and he's... Oh, I thought he was going to go into the back of him there. Goodness me. See further down the field though, ILRT Matty on the back of Gary, the Irishman, against the ILRT Matty, not taking his dry braking point, taking his dry braking point there, is struggling out on track. Left side end plate, I think he's got damage on as well. Callum, by the way, is still going around out on track. He's still in 3rd. He's only been overtaken by Golson Toxic on this lap. So, coming around the turn 15, again, remember, if anybody is viewing out on track, listen to James and don't take your dry line braking points. Brake about 100 metres earlier for the corner and ensure that you try and get the throttle on off the corner itself. Not on the corner, because you don't want to be spinning out in these conditions. Go through out on track and essentially put the throttle on as soon as you get out that corner. Callum is about to come out of the pits, and I think he's just going to be possibly ahead of Nico. There is Nico on the left-hand side. And we'll hide the UI for a minute, and there is Nico just going through, and there is Callum just joining in behind him. Oh, that's perfect. That's a perfect view to try and hide the user interface there. I might try it a little bit more often. Campbell, right on the back of car mentalist though in the meantime. Everyone on the set of wet compound of tyres. The road is not coming down quite heavy actually out on track, but it is wet in the track enough for it to turn to wets. Essentially, when intermediate conditions come in Formula 1, it is wet compound of tyres really in Formula 2. Speaking of Formula 2. Let's have a look then and see what has been said. Maybe we've got some comments there from the DNFers out on track within the Discord, and I'm certainly going to have a look at that now and see if there was anything said. Kursk coming in and saying, "Hell Campbell, F hell Campbell, what a move." Kursk giving him that one. Toxic, by the way, apologising to Gary Donegan and saying, "So sorry, I didn't know we were 3 wide." And Super Gamer says 20 pence for Gary. I think he's worth 20 pence more than his performance. He's actually undercut quite a few guys out on track as Gary. He's in 9th position, trying to chase down Dan for 8th, doing a good job. Remember, he was at the back of the field on lap 1. I think he was 17th. Sorry, I think he was 18th out of 19 on lap 1. So I think give Gary credit. Maybe we can get hashtag Gary to D1 trending on Twitter within the comment section. Campbell right on the back of the commenters though in the meantime. The Brit and the Scotsman pointing down towards turn 1. 23 out of 31. LRT Matty into the pits. I think that was to replace his front wing damage. Remember the top 15 do get point scoring positions. Oh, and LRT Matty has actually retired that into the pit lane. So LRT Matty out of the race. He's retired it in the pit lane. Drove well for majority of the first half of the race as well, and that for a brilliant battle between himself and Gulst, where Gulst obviously got the move done. Might be one of the best battles we've seen all night, that one. Halfway through lap 23 then, Gulst leads the way. He's getting close down by Toxic, but these two really dominated this race out on track. Campbell against car mentalist. This is for 5th position. The Scotsman gets the move down. Move done. Locked up a little bit on the brakes, but he gets the move done. Campbell is through and he's up to 5th. But car mentalist not going to give this one up lightly. Campbell forced him to the left-hand side of the track, but this is going to favour the inside line. Actually down. Remember, they've got to brake around the 100-metre mark, down into the braking zone. Have they gone a little bit too deep? Commentalist has. Campbell, I think, predicted that one, and I think Commentalist is just going to rejoin him behind. And fair play to him actually out on track. He rejoins out in behind. So, Campbell now 5th. Commentalist 6th, but look, who is lurking in behind? It's Larkin out on track. Larkin is lurking in behind in the Carlin car. And Carlin, as I say, Toxic, going to be, I think Campos at this stage are going to be outscoring Carlin at this stage in terms of the constructors' standings. Of course, I mentioned earlier on, at that point in the race, I think Toxic and Larkin were 2nd and 3rd when I mentioned it, but Carlin would have been outscoring Campos if the race ended there. It hasn't, and now Campos are going to be outscoring the 2 Carlin cars out on track, and really, the racing here tonight has been nothing short of great. I think, honestly, probably one of the better races of the Formula 2 season, and if not, probably one of the best race possibly to commentate on this one. And certainly the Americas never fails to deliver a battle. And speaking of a battle, could we have a battle for the lead, please? Toxic right on the back of LR Gulst. The orbit there just in the background of shot. Toxic, 1.2 seconds behind Gulst. He just lost a little bit of time there coming through the end of the first sector. And now, let's see how... Oh, you can just hear the gears grinding. That is how to try and get the traction off the corner. And Toxic is trying to gain on Gulst. In the meantime, though, we have got a bit of a battle developing once again. Campbell is pulling away from Car Mentalist, but Larkin lurking in behind. 4.5 tenths. But again, just a little bit poor exit there from Larkin. So, should just be a little bit braver, I think, on the throttle. That's why Comments has pulled away from him out on track. And Larkin currently still in 7th position. Could be a little bit braver, I think, within the conditions through turn 11. Of course, he doesn't want to spin the car, but I think he can probably afford to take that a couple of mile an hour quicker to ensure that he tries to get the run off the corner. And to try and ensure, of course, he tries to get the move done on Carmensis. Because I think if he got that good run out the corner, Larkin would have been on the back of Carmensis there. Lap 24 out of 31, about to go on to lap 25. Bray about to be lapped in behind the Maltese man out on track. He is still in 15th position in the final point scoring position out on track. As we've now transitioned from day to night, as I put on my light there on the commentary. Larkin right on the back of Carl Mentalist. 6th and 7th, but we'll turn our attentions first and foremost to the battle for the lead as it's LR Ghost against TTG Toxic out on track. And Toxic looking to try and get the move done. And again, it is one of these eSport team battles that you like to see. And if you want to see more of it, then come and join the mini league. Kieran McGinley and Aidan Carter. I'm having the night off on Wednesday, which you'll see me in the GC Sport Championship, which is fantastic. Sebo picks up a 10-second time penalty. In fact, he's having a battle with your JT out on track. This is spawned from absolutely nothing. Your JT down the inside has got the move done on Sebo, so getting 30 seconds of fame. Your JT getting the move done on Sebo, and the Scotsman is through and he's up into 13th position, so another point gain there for your JT out on track. Toxic though on the back of Ghosts. Ghost has got the advantage of having a car ahead. Toxic trying to pull out the slipstream. He's aware, he's making sure. He's aware, he's wanting to make sure that Ghost is aware of him to see him coming. And I think Toxic out on track is right on the back of Ghost. You can see them fighting through positions. And Leverage Racing and TTG are, of course, going to do battles in that mini league on Wednesday. Mini League 1, of course, Kieran McGinley and Aidan Carter to take you through that one. TTTV, it will be broadcast on if you want to come and check out more of my commentaries as well. That's why I normally commentate for most of the week as well, so you can come and tune in for that. But TTG man right on the back of the LR man out on track, and gotta be honest, these two have really adapted themselves to this race well. Toxic, oh, he's into the back of him, oh my god! How on earth is he not into the back of him there? Jesus wept! Goodness me, Toxic nearly into the back of Ghost through the final corner, and the commentator nearly has a heart attack. Don't do that to me ever again. Larkin on the back of Carl Mentalist out on track. The BWT Orton against the Carling car out on track. This is still for 6th and 7th, and again Larkin just struggling to try and get the run through off the final corner there, and Carl Mentalist just powering away. The rain getting heavier out on track. Gonna be like a bolting lake, I think, in a minute. Larkin on the back of Carmensis down through turn 1. You can really see how awful these conditions are. There's a patch of blue sky trying to pull through. I don't think they'll be coming through that soon enough though. Ghosts is leading the way. Nico and Gary are quite close towards the back of the towards the mid pack of the field. They've just come through turns 2 and into 3, and Nico is on the back for about 7/10, but now the lead of the race is coming. Toxic sizing this one up. More of these battles, Verstappen might get a little bit closer, but Toxic right on the back. This is going to have to be done the old-fashioned F1 way. Toxic to the outside line, LR goes to the inside line. We swap camera angles, and LR goes, holds the position down the inside line. Toxic tried to go on the traction, ran the outside. Superior run though, through turn 13. Can he get the move done? Toxic around the outside, Ghost on the inside line. This is a phenomenal battle. LR against TTG, and TTG Toxic, the championship leader, takes the lead of the race through turn 15. He gets the move done. Ghost not getting the run out the corner as he would have wanted, and Toxic sails it right around the outside. Much superior and much better out on track, and Toxic leads from Ghost in second, but these two are going to continue to battle out on track. And don't discount Ghost. Remember, I think it was the same in Interlagos where these two were battling out on track. As we see a bit of action further down the field. B. Morgan down the inside on Callum. This is down towards turn 13 out on track. Callum trying to do what Toxic did to Ghost just 30 seconds ago. Brilliant racing between them both, I've got to be honest. And the BWT Arden down the inside has got the move done if he doesn't overcommit the move, and he has. The BWT Arden through. But here comes B Morgan on the inside line. The Division 2 man down the inside on Callum. They peer right on the camera angle, and Callum is still there right around the outside. The BWT Arden and the Dams. But it's the Dams. Oh, damn, what a move that is. And B Morgan has gone through, and he's up into 11th position. Larkin has gone through, and Carmencelis as well. Carmencelis trying to battle back. Campbell getting closer to Chill as well. Ghost not done with on Toxic. And Nico closing in on Gary as well. So right on board then with the Spaniard trying to chase down Gary, the Irishman of course. And these two have had a very good battle the last couple of laps. We haven't been broadcasting it out on track, but these two, I assure you, have been having a good battle and been quite consistent to each other out on track. And the Irishman and Nico are doing a good job out on track, and I've got to be honest and really say that this race has been up there with one of the best in Formula 2 this season. From the action we've covered and from the moves that have been pulled off, I said at the beginning of the race that we wouldn't be short on overtaking, and what have we had? We've had numerous battles and great overtaking and a safety car to boot. It's pretty much a dream race if you are tuning in for your motorsporting fix on this beautiful Monday night. Campbell and Chill finding out for 4th and 5th. And I think Chill, and I made a mistake there, the Dutchman finding out. Sorry, the Scotsman and the Dutchman finding out. But look at Larkin and look at Carmencelis as well, beginning to get back into the fray out on track. Chill is down the inside line. New turn 16. Not going to get the move done there though. Campbell holding on to 4th position. He's come under sustained pressure, I think, in this race, and it's not good for his championship chances at all as we move towards the final 5 rounds of the championship after this one. But Larkin is looking very racy on the back of these. Chill nearly goes into the back of Campbell. Very similar to what we saw with Toxic on Ghost a couple of laps ago. Larkin again just struggling to get the traction off the corner. Carmencelis, he can pretty much cut him out of the battle now as Toxic has pulled away from Ghost. 4 laps to go. 3 3/4 if you are picky for the leaders. Toxic leading the way from Ghost in 2nd, Verstappen 3rd, Campbell 4th, Chill in 5th, Larkin 6th, Carmencelis 7th, Dan in 8th, Gary in 9th, Nico in 10th, B Morgan in 9th, Callum in 12th, your JT, Sabo and Bray all still continuing on as well. And if you have really liked this commentary, and if you really liked this stream, and if you really like the action out on track, then why don't you like, comment and subscribe and tick that notification bell to be assured of when we go live. And of course, if you're in the Discord as well, the notifications come up through the bot on there, through LOE_cat. Who is our traditional Discord bot out on track, or out in the Discord I should say. Larkin having a much better run there through turn 11. Now he tries to size up QVR Chill. Look at the slipstream, look at the straight line speed of Larkin. Trying to get the move done here down the inside, and in the conditions I don't think he's going to try and pull off this one, and he doesn't. I think there is a car just ahead, that is, I think Sabo just ahead of this. Yeah, Bray and Sabo having fight for position. Bray has got the move done on Sabo. These two are fighting just ahead out on track, and they've got a lot of action. They've got a lot of traffic in behind them really, because Campbell, Chill and Larkin are chasing through. Toxic goes on to lap 29, 3 laps to go here in League of Europe Formula 2's championship for round 9 of the championship here in the Circuit of the Americas, and what a race it has been. Fantastic out on track. Just to point out on the fastest lap, by the way, LR Goals has got the fastest lap of the race, a 49.5 even, and he's quicker than Verstappen in terms of the fastest laps out on track, and in fact he's quicker than Campbell out on track. It's a 50.6 from him as Larkin has gone through there on QVR Chill. Got the better one through turn 1. Oh, and QVR Chill tries to lunge it down the inside, and there's contact. There is contact between them both. I think he had a slide coming through turn 1. Bit of opposite lock there, and QVR Chill, I'm not sure if he's got wing damage. Let's ride on board with him and see if he has. There's no visible wing damage. I think the tyres though are beginning to go maybe on the wet surface, on the wet track. Really beginning to go. Nico and Gary quite close out of turn 1. Now through turn 2, of course, remember this is a Herman Tilke design track, and lap 29 out of 31. Well, we're halfway through lap 29 now. We're about to go on to the final 2 laps of the race. But I'll tell you what, Nico, Gary still have been very consistent for each other. Nico on the back of Gary, the Irishman, trying to defend off Nico out on track. The F1 Pre-Man and the Trident. 9th and 10th currently out on track. And again, F1 Pre are going to be scoring quite high because QVR Chill is in 6th position as well. Nico and P10. Both Savage, by the way, out of the race. Matty and Dylan. Damon, one of the Univitorsis, and MP Motorsport of Killer Blue, who did disconnect earlier on in the race. The rain band coming across the track. That is how. There are the raindrops out on track. You can see how heavy this rain is. It's like Malaysia all over again. And we have that track covered on the F1 calendar. QVR Chill. QVR Chill though, on the back of Lock. And the Carlin man trying to defend off the F1 Pre-Man. And I think he probably has the better of him at this stage. Campbell pulling away from Larkin, but only a couple of tenths a lap. Penultimate lap of the race has just begun though for the leaders, and they're on through turns 1 and 2, and Toxic leads by 3.6 seconds out on track from Allard Gulson, Verstappen in 3rd, Campbell in 4th, Larkin 5th, Chill in 6th, Commental 7th, Dan in 8th, with Gary Donegan in 9th, and Nico rounding off the top 10. B. Morgan, Callum, your JT, Bray and Sable, and they are the ones still going around out on track. They are current running order out on track. And as I say, hopefully you guys have really enjoyed this stream, and I know how difficult it is for everyone out there currently in terms of what's happening with coronavirus and everything like that. I just want to pay a massive tribute to the NHS workers, to all of those frontline servicemen and women who are really fighting the cause hard and protecting their health as well as ours in trying to fight the coronavirus. And I'm sure with the with how everything is going currently out on track, there'll be plenty more nights like this on a Monday night. So of course, if you are just tuning in for a motorsporting fix, then we are here to provide that, of course. And I'm sure you guys have enjoyed what has been happening out on track. But yeah, really just to speak about that, health workers deserve a lot of credit, as do key essential workers as well. And I'll come on more and I'll speak about it more towards the end of the stream. But everything's just gone a little bit quiet now out on track. Hello, ghosts, quite literally through your JT there. But we're about to go on to the final lap of the race, and it is the current championship leader, Toxic, who will remain the championship leader if he completes the final lap out on track, and he leads the way by 5 seconds as he comes through towards turn 1. So Toxic down towards turn 1, taking the inside curve very nicely there, and he's 5.2 seconds ahead of Ghosts, who really, since being overtaken, hasn't put up a fight as you might have would have expected from him. But Toxic through the S section, through 3, 4, 5 and 6, count the corners. As the S section, you can really see how difficult it is for the cars out on track. Through 7, and then through 8, and then up then through 7, then up towards 8 and 9, which is this here, and then through turn 10, which is this little king, and Toxic pulling away. 5.3 seconds now out on track. Everyone spread out like a washing line. It's a shame, really. I was expecting more battles towards the end of the race, but what can you? Even the Division 1 the Division 1 commentator and the best commentator in LOE can't get his own way sometimes. Toxic, though, is down the straight for the final time, and there's been quite a performance from Toxic. Of course, threaded through the field quite early on. He gained, I think, a couple of positions within the first 3 laps out on track. He adapted to the wet conditions well when it was time for wets, and has undercut the likes of Campbell and the likes of B. Morgan as well further down the field to try and get this win. And Toxic coming through turn 15 for the final time, through 16, 17 and 18, the Verstappen corner as we like to call it in the commentary box. Toxic not putting too much throttle down there. Ghost trying to catch, but given the wet conditions, I don't think he's going to risk it for a chocolate biscuit as he now comes through the final 2 corners. Toxic We're right on board with him as he comes around the final corner with the rain beginning to relent out on track. Toxic comes around the final corner and the championship winner, the championship leader, takes the win here in the Circuit of the Americas. Ghost, great performance in second. Like Brazil all over again, I think, for him. Kvyat Verstappen, I think, will finish third coming across the line. Let's have a look on the penalties. Yes, he will. Verstappen will finish third. Then Campbell will finish fourth. He's getting closed down quite late on by Larkin. He just appears into the back of shot. Campbell will drop down, I think. Larkin with a penalty. Kvyat Chill goes up to fifth. Comment Solicitor, I think, has kept it relatively clean out on track. Will come across the line in seventh. Dan will be coming across the line in eighth ahead of Gary. If you look at the Tridents, he's getting into contention to the later race. Dan across the line in 8th position. Gary across the line in 9th, but Gaines and Nico Gaines as well. B. Morgan, however, is off. B. Morgan is off. There is Callum coming through, and there is Sabo as well. Callum now coming through the triple right-hander. B. Morgan has only just got underway now. And the Dams car, I think, is still going to be holding on for 11th position, but you can tell how difficult these conditions are. B. Morgan through the final corner. Not his race. He was unlucky getting caught up in the contact with RRT Matty. Comes across the line in 12th, and Callum remains in 12th position. Well, Circuit of the Americas never fails to provide a good race, and I think we've definitely had one of the best races of the season in the Formula 2 Championship this season. Fantastic racing out on track. A credit to all the drivers, but it is that man again, TTG Toxic, who takes the win out on track and further extends his championship lead. LR Ghost, the Brit, also put up a fantastic fight and a great overtake to try and get the lead of the race as well by Toxic, in which he got the lead of the race. And he absolutely mastered him out on track, pulled away. He was the dominant one out on track, and Toxic takes the win. And of course, do not forget about that man in third position either, which of course I think, if I'm not mistaken, was one of the Kvyat drivers. Oh, and I get XP. It's only 500 XP? Goodness me. Away, man. Get it together. Toxic taking the win out on track on 19th position on the grid. I did say it would be quite easy for them out on track to pick them off. Ghost, by the way, second. He also picks up the fastest lap point. 49.5, his fastest lap. Verstappen finishing in third to round off the podiums. Campbell in fourth, Chill in fifth. Larkin, Commensalist, Nico the Spaniard, Gary Donegan and Dan rounding off the top 10. And good performance there by Nico to not pick up any penalties as well. B. Morgan across the line in 11th, Callum in 12th. We also had finishes from JT, Bray, Sebo, picked up 16 seconds worth of penalties, but they fell out the top 15. Matty, Dylan, Damon and Killer Blue. Unfortunate for Killer Blue with those disconnects and that DNF. And hopefully he'll be back very soon. I hope we get to see the LR and ILRT battle again between LR Ghosts and ILRT Matty, because that was a fantastic battle for a few laps between the two of the biggest esports teams, I think, on PS4. And it was fantastic to watch and fantastic to commentate on. Let's see then what you guys, if you guys have been saying anything in the comments section. You haven't, but if you want to say anything about your post-race thoughts, then you can do that. I'll check the Discord as well to see what has been said. Gold saying Toxic won, I came second, Verstappen was third. The crew not tuning in. Goodness me. He was tuning into the beginning. Anyways. Fantastic racing out on track, and all the GGs going towards Toxic there in the comment section on Discord. And what a race we have had tonight in Circuit of the Americas. Congratulations to the top three, to Toxic, to Ghost and to Verstappen. Fantastic racing, and of course we will see you as always on a Monday next week. And to speak about the championship, I am going to get up where we are going to be next week. And if I am not mistaken, next week we are going to be racing in round 10 of the championship. We're going to be racing from the USA. We are now going to be racing in France. So we go to the Circuit Paul Ricard in France. If you thought that race was good, then I think it might be even better at Circuit Paul Ricard. You might see quite a lot of lunges, I think, in terms of that track. But France to come, then we've got Italy, Mexico, Britain and Germany to round off the season as well. So that is your Monday night sorted, I think, for the next 5 weeks or so. Fantastic racing there on track. Congratulations, as I say, to Toxic, to Ghost, and to Verstappen, and to all the drivers for finishing out on track. Of course, the next time you'll be seeing me live on this channel will be Saturday night for Division 1, Division 2, Division 3 and Division 4 also will be live as well. But if you want to come and check me out, then Division 1 is the progress to go. And of course, we will have more action for you on Friday night as well. The 5-lapper championship is going to be broadcast live. I do believe it is going to be the same commentary as last week. I think Daka and J. Cole took you through that one, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong on that one. But Daka will certainly be there. I will, however, not be there, I'm afraid, in any capacity, because I'll be commentating on TTL F1 League 2 that evening from 8 PM. So all I really want to say is thank you very much for tuning in, and of course I reiterate as my voice begins to croak, I reiterate the advice that I always give on these streams. Please stay safe, please protect your health service, please protect the lives of your fellow people, and save lives and stay indoors. Simple as that. Not much to ask for, but hopefully, well, and I'm sure we will all get there together. And as I say, fantastic action out on track. Thank you very much for watching though. I've been James Head. Thank you so much for watching. And until Saturday for Division 1 and the rest of the divisions here on League of Europe, goodbye.